Hi, my name is Matt Crowley, and I am a product specialist here at Atlas Copco. In today's video, we're going to be looking at how to configure products, more specifically sockets, in our socket configurator. With that said, let's go ahead and jump into the platform and see how it works. Since we will be focusing on the product configuration aspect of this new Tactile CPQ system in this video, the first thing we need to do is go ahead and sign in by clicking Authenticate via Active Directory. Once we're signed in, and we want to navigate to the Solutions tab. And from the Solutions page here, we can go ahead and pick a solution we will be configuring a product for. And then we can see we have a button, Add Product, where we can actually now configure products. I'm going to click that, and it will bring up a list of different items that we can scroll through and see. For this video, we will be focusing on sockets and how to configure a socket using this system. Before we actually configure a product and show how that works, it's really good to show off this Other Requests section. If I click this, you can see here we have a few different options, and this is a really great place to go if you want to do something like request a drawing for an existing socket. All you do is you say yes, you're going to punch in the part number, and then you're going to submit the request once you do that. So this is a really great thing to be aware of. But now we want to actually configure a socket, so we're going to come back in and click Soltis Sockets and Bits. Once you're here, we can see we have multiple different sections that it's going to walk us through from left to right, from sections 1 to 7. The first thing to be aware of is if you want to make a small adjustment to an existing article number, let's say you have a socket in the catalog that you want to just add a magnet to, you can say yes to default by existing socket. Then you can type in the part number, and once you select that part number, it's going to automatically change all of the elements in this configurator to match that existing part number, and then you can go into just different features and add the features you want and submit from there. But we're going to say no to this because we want to actually explore how to configure a socket in here. So the great thing about this platform is it's very intuitive, so I'll walk through a sample setup for this video to illustrate how it really works. So for the sample, I'm going to say we want a female square with a 3/8 input size. And then for our output, we're going to say we want to stick with a female hex. You can see we have a variety of options. And we're going to say that we want a 10 millimeter. The one thing to be aware of that's fantastic is if you don't see what you need in the list, you can go to Special, and now you can manually type the output you want in the box below. For us, we're going to go ahead and select 10 millimeter. Next, moving our way to the right, we can see we have a list of features to select from. You can just simply select a feature you want by saying yes to it. We will pick rotation. And then if you don't see a feature you need, once again, you can come down here and say special feature, and you can type in a special feature. Maybe you need the rotation cover to be blue, then you can just type in blue colored rotation sleeve. Now that we've picked our feature that we need, which is rotation in this case, the next thing we want to do is define dimensions. You can go ahead and manually type in any dimensions that are specific for the application that you need. If you're okay with really open parameters and you don't really need a specific dimension, you can leave these blank, and we can jump over to Select Socket. Once we go here to Select Socket, we can see that there are no actually existing standard or custom sockets that have been created for this, so that would mean we need to create a new special socket. In case we wanted to see an existing standard socket, we could come back here and we could change one of our parameters back. And if we go back to Select Socket again, just as an example, we can see now that we actually have best fit standard sockets in addition to, once again, the option to submit a new special socket. If you scroll down through the list, you can see the list of statistics for each socket. So we can see we have 2 standard products, and we can see the differences between them called out on the right-hand side of each of the categories. If we wanted to select this best fit standard socket, we can go ahead and go to Accessories. We can say yes if we want a socket cover, and we can also go ahead and select a tool cover based on the tool we'll be using. And when we go to Result, we can see it actually gives us a part number for the socket cover. It gives us a part number for the tool cover, and it also gives us a part number for the socket as well. And now we can use all 3 of these part numbers to place an order. Taking one step back to show an additional feature, in the event we needed to submit a new custom socket and neither of these existing options worked for us, then we can go ahead and simply say, yes, we want a new special socket. We can go to the summary to make sure everything looks okay. And then once we go to the result tab, you can see it'll say ETO. This means that technical approval is required, which means we need a quote from the design team. To submit this, we want to click Save. And after we click Save, we can see it brings us back to the solution overview, and we can see our configure product in the center of the screen. Now that we can see our configured product in the center of the screen here, we want to click it, and we can see here it says Technical Approval Request Required. To submit it, we go ahead and want to submit the request, type any information that's important, and then submit the request. And once you submit the request, it will automatically be sent off to the design team in TIRP to create this product for us and send the quote back to the team. Also on this tab, you can see a few different parameters for the product you configured, and you can see once more the product data, which is going to be a basic description of the product you configured. That concludes today's video on the Socket Configurator and how to configure products. If you have any further questions, reach out to your local Atlas Copco rep, and thank you for watching.